Welcome to you. My name is Chioma Okpara. My crew and I go around Lagos, the entire country, and sometimes abroad, to record happenings in the art world. We also showcase our culture and tourist sites on art and leisure. The show begins in earnest. It is no breaking news that some structures in the artist village here in Lagos were demolished. Such action did not go down well with many stakeholders, especially as many artists lost valuables. The Minister of Information and Culture has visited the artist village twice since the incident. Stick around for details. This is the artist village located in the premises of the National Theatre, Iganmu, Lagos. The National Council for Arts and Culture and the National Gallery of Art have their offices here. 52 companies belonging to dancers, artists, and other art practitioners are also here. On Saturday, the 23rd of January 2016, the bulldozer was brought in, and this is what it left behind.
In the morning, 6:30, my boy came to me and told me, say, Oga, there is a multitude of police here. I say, what is happening? He said, they all carry gun. Immediately I come out, have seen caterpillar. Before I could be able to know, they start destroying the whole thing. So I can be able to run there and pick a few items, but the whole thing were destroyed. Then I start crying.
I was even thinking that my fellow colleague was inside the room, because when I came, he was not outside. I didn't see him. You understand? Even when the caterpillar came to this place, they didn't even inform us that everybody should come outside or everybody should leave that place. They just started demolishing everything.
Art and Leisure learned that there was an order to destroy all the shanties in the premises of the National Theatre, but these people say they had a permit to run their art studios.
And we are paying for it. We pay to the management, that is the parastatal, that is NCC.
How much you pay every year?
No, it depends.
Owe Smart, a sculptor who has been in the artist village for 10 years, was hit by a bullet.
This part used to be the gallery and the studio. It's this other side. My machines, some of them were still scattered here and all that. My works, these are some of my works that came out, the ones that we could reach, and there are still some inside. So I discovered they've messed the place up.
But you still made the policemen?
They were very, very heavy presence of policemen. A lot of them, way over 50, I believe. I didn't count them, but there were heavy presence of policemen with guns and all that.
And you tried to ask them questions?
They were on the other side, demolishing. So I went there and I discovered that it wasn't even my landlord, because the National Council for Arts and Culture gave us this place, which is NCAC. I saw the general manager of the National Theatre, Kabir Yusuf Yadwa, so I think is his name. He led them, So I had asked him, what's happening? Why are they demolishing our studios and all that? The policemen, they were all around. At least we had distance between us. I was trying to, talk. Why are they destroying our studio? That he's not our landlord. Well, he just kept me quiet. He kept quiet. That was it. And the policemen said they were going to cuff me and arrest me. I said, well, if they're going to cuff me and arrest me, they can do just that. Because after they might have destroyed my life's work. If you see a lot of work here, they're old works. They're works I've been doing for a very long time. They rounded up, he left, all the policemen, they were leaving. People were shouting, saying all sorts of things. A lot of people, look, they've destroyed people's means of livelihood. So people will say a lot of things. Me too, I said lots of things. They were already outside the gate. Mufonifade is a painter. He was standing at the gate, making sure no artists follow the policemen outside the gate. They were outside the gate. The next thing, we started hearing shots. A lot of people were running. I just stood where I was. There was one car there. They've moved the car. I don't know why they moved it. There was a bullet hole inside the car. From the boot, there's another car. There was a bullet on it.
And
one hit me on the leg.
They say they were not served quick notice.
Nothing like that. They give me notice. I would have packed my work out now. I like to work and somebody will come and destroy it.
These creative people are not happy.
Some of these artists have received money on commission for works that have deadlines for submission. Now there's no studio to work. Some of these dance studios have received engagements, have taken deposits. These are creative entrepreneurs, small-scale enterprises in the arts and culture.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Mr. Lai Mohammed, visited the same day this destruction took place.
I did ask Mr. Bayemi to please let me have a formal petition or a formal complaint that those who came to demolish actually went beyond the call of duty.
Yes, sir.
Well, I waited patiently and have not received it. You know. And then of course this story will not die, and that's why I decided to come today.
On this second visit, he inspected works at the National Gallery of Art and also went round to see the extent of the damage done by the bulldozer. He had a one-on-one chat with some of the artists, after which he responded this way.
The story of the artist village would be like Ilioba Tojo.
God bless you, Minister. Thank you.
In other words, out of this fix will grow a more befitting artist village.
Thank you very much, sir.
A more befitting artist village that will only not boast of studios,
Yes,
but or theaters or rehearsal, halls, but also decent markets.
Yes.
Where you can exhibit your wares, sell your wares.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think one of the speeches I gave, I said we all have to travel today to the UK, to I think Dakar, to even auction our own artworks. I intend by the grace of God, under this tenure, we are going to have a befitting auction house in this artist village.
This minister's second visit has assuaged people's nerves. Nevertheless, this canal acts as a fence between the National Theatre and her neighbors. Owe Smart says he's been footing his hospital bill. The minister reiterated that the artist village will soon wear a new look. A befitting structure will be erected here. Welcome back. We'll give you updates as events unfold. Ndidi Dike is a name that rings a bell in the visual arts community. Since her graduation from the University of Nigeria in Nsukka 32 years ago, she's remained committed to being a sculptor. She paints too. Everybody looks forward to Ndidi's exhibition, and what we're about to show you is simply mind-blowing. Take a look. This is the exhibition hall of the National Museum in Lagos. Only 4 art pieces are on display. Ndidi Dike titled her solo exhibition, State of the Nation.
The title State of the Nation, just succinctly as possible, talks about the state of our country, Nigeria, talks about the situation and circumstances into which we find ourselves. This work is untitled, and I think one of the major statements I have about this work is that we're still in the 21st century, yet we're using kerosene stoves, we're using firewood, other kinds of materials that add to environmental degradation and things like that. If our society had been responsible as regards to what you could provide for everybody to cook with, we would not be using kerosene or charcoal or wood. It affects the environment. In other countries, people are not still using kerosene, they're not using charcoal, they're not using wood. This is called national grid. This is also very obvious, yet very loaded. Talks about many issues. Talks about living without electricity. It talks about fuel subsidy, Niger Delta, the economy, urbanization, transport, industry, you name it. It addresses almost every issue that we have in society, because we all know that really and truly you cannot live without electricity. I think when we got independence, all of us were very happy and optimistic that Nigeria would be a great nation and that things would be much, much better than what they are now. The chair for me symbolizes the way we could go if we're not careful. We have so many challenges and problems in Nigeria today. Remember that there have been a lot of amendments to the constitution here and there. There's always one advocate, be it a lawyer or some other important personality, clamoring for a change in the constitution. So these are all the sort of like interpretations and dynamics of the political history of Nigeria. This work, out of all of them, I think touches me the most. It's about women. It's called How Much Am I Worth? It talks about gender issues, it talks about women, it talks about the unfortunate missing of the 217 Chibok girls. Generally, on a deeper level, it also addresses issues of patriarchy, you know, how we're viewed in society, and so on and so forth. It's so unfortunate that up to now, you know, the girls have not been found or brought back to their parents.
His Royal Majesty Igwe Nemeka Chebe, the Obi of Onitsha, a great art collector, was a special guest of honor.
The exhibition is quite impressive. It's extraordinary. It's different in a sense, but it makes you think, it makes you reflect on our situation in Nigeria, our predicaments, the challenges we have in this country. And I think it should make everybody think deeply, not only of the challenges themselves, but on how we can get out of those challenges, how we can address those challenges and address them effectively.
These new works and installations of Ndidi speak to both the leaders and the led.
The presentation is fantastic. It's down to the point of what is going on in the country, commentary about what's going on in the country. Particularly this one here, which talked about accountability and which also mentioned the fact that while we talk about politicians and elder statesmen and some other people who are not presenting themselves well, we should also talk about the ordinary person. The presence of these mirrors along here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mirrors. And on looking down, I see my face. It brings up the idea of seeing one's face and leading to self-examination. Look into yourself, examine yourself, and if there's any way, anything you're doing that is not conforming, that's not necessarily helping your community or helping the community, ditch it.
Materials for these works were sourced locally. Though some of the art pieces are untitled, many understand the artist's point of view.
What people are trying to do when they move out of paintings or, you know, two-dimensional sculptural pieces and do an assemble installation art like this is that they want to grab the viewer by the neck and say, look, let's have an urgent conversation. And this has achieved that in a sense.
This exhibition attracted people from all walks of life.
Ndidi Dike has proved to us that she's one of the wisest artists we have in the continent, especially in Nigeria. You can see that she summarized the state of the nation, the state of Nigeria.
Very difficult to describe. I have never, and I'm being very honest, seen the amount of work, the amount of creativity in what Ndidi Dike has just done, bringing us back home to the state of the nation called Nigeria. It's unbelievable what she's done with her hands, and the woman at that.
Ndidi Dike has had more than 13 solo exhibitions and participated in more than 15 group shows. She's gone for residencies and also participated in international workshops and competitions. She's a sculptor, a cultural activist, a multidisciplinary artist, and an art consultant. She works in Lagos as a full-time studio artist. This is the first in the series of exhibitions she's using to examine different facets of our national life. Nice to have you back. My personal belief is that Nigeria will be great again in my lifetime. How do we achieve that? It's not by trading blames. You be a change agent, I be a change agent, and before we know it, we'll see that great nation we so desire become a reality. All right, now to another artist. Ngozi Schommers studied painting at Eba College of Technology. Her style is very unique. She exhibited painstakingly done art pieces here in Lagos. Stick around. Ngozi Schommers loves colors. She lives in Nigeria and Germany. Her experiences and observations in the two countries made her title the solo exhibition "We're Not Welcome Here."
When I look at the situation of the whole world, not just people moving and all that, I realize that we are in constant repetition of the same mistakes, and the people that get the whole bunch of it are usually the less privileged or have-nots. It having to deal with migration, the refugee crisis, or people that when I come to Nigeria or I see that this is their home, but they're displaced in their own home, and nobody really do observe those people. Or most times, you know, you look at the government, be it here or out there, they're not doing much in trying to resolve this. Or sometimes I feel like the power that be don't even know how to solve some of this situation. So in answering your question to why I titled it "We Are Not Welcome Here," I feel like people like this, they've always been present. I mean, they're always going to be there and all that, and the way we treat them feels like they're not welcome. In all my work, I put myself in it. In being around them, I've come to understand them as well. So I wouldn't address them, "You are not welcome here," but I'd rather say we are, based on we also being part of whatever problems that is going on.
Ngozi presents everyday realities. The works are visually pleasing, but underneath are issues of migration, freedom, transformation, life, damage, integration, and hope.
This body of work or installation is titled Trash. I was in Germany when I started this particular work. It was also at the time of the Chibok girls when they were kidnapped and all that. Actually, if this work is assembled together, there is a female figure in it. So in this, I decided not to put her all together because I feel that she's also scattered all over. We don't know where she is or what exactly happened, which is something that goes on every day, that you see millions of people being scattered all over and nobody really pay attention or try to rehabilitate them well or integrate them properly. Each time I was traveling in Germany, I come across a whole lot of refugees. What I've done is to video their traveling luggage, which is a dust bin. The dust bin represents some of the people that we tend to disregard, or we feel like they're waste, like they're human waste. The noise you hear is the sound that the perforates make when I'm perforating.
With each work, Ngozi probes deeper into consequences of some of our social, political, religious actions and influences.
This piece is titled Margarita of Old and New. When you look at the body, she doesn't look like she doesn't want to take off her clothes or anything like that. She looks like she's happy, dancing. So at some point, people go through things, but they now find a way to adapt to it and move on. In each of my work, the flowers, the butterflies, they're ever present, because when you look at people, when they tell you their stories, there is always something happy you can pick up from someone. And that's why in my works you rarely see a sad figure or a sad person. This work, I titled it The Flu. I tried to present the figures as sprinters. The issue with refugees or migrants like this, because some of them, when you talk to some of them, they're not even caught up in a war zone country, but they feel like it's time to live wherever they're fleeing from. Maybe in search of just a better place to make better living than where they are.
Ngozi Schommers studied painting at the School of Art, Design and Printing, Yaba College of Technology. She employed the medium of confetti in the execution of these works.
I cut my own confetti.
Ngozi has participated in many group exhibitions. She's a multimedia artist whose works are done choice places. Many are impressed with her new body of work.
Both the materials, the technique, and the artist's viewpoint is very impressive and very contemporary, and I think it's a great intervention on the Nigerian art scene.
Very interesting, but I'm not new to the style. I'd seen her at work in 2010 when she was doing a class assignment and when she was in Yaba College of Technology. And I did not know this was where it was going to take her. I'm actually impressed with how far she's gone with the very same technique.
Ngozi Schommers connects dots by stringing confetti together. She wants to see a world where people live freely and worry less about racial and religious tensions. Well done, Ngozi Schommers. Beautiful and intelligent woman. It's been my pleasure bringing art and leisure to you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to visit our website www.artandleisure.com.ng. Watch our episodes online and leave a comment afterwards. Let's do this again, same time next week, same station, God willing. My name is Chioma Okpara. Love yourself, love Nigeria.